What's going on, Divine Beings? Welcome back to another episode of Eat Love Kitchen, where the main ingredient is love. So today we're going to be making something that I've been eating for many years. We're going to be making my grandma's beans, frijoles. All right, guys. So we're doing 2 cups only because it's me and my wife. If you have more family or more kids, you're going to want to double that up or whatever. Just try using a bigger pot because this pot is only good for about 2 cups of beans. So what you're gonna wanna do first is you're gonna wanna soak your beans for about 30 minutes to an hour, just so all that dirt can come out of those beans. And you'll see what I'm talking about after you let it soak. And then after that, obviously rinse it off and do what you gotta do, So what we're gonna be using for this recipe, we're gonna be using half an onion, 2 garlic cloves, and some salt. And then once that's done soaking up, I'll show you guys what to do next. All right, guys, so we're back. So what I did is I soaked my beans for about an hour or so. What I did after, I just rinsed them out, poured out the water, kept doing it until I stopped seeing all that excess little skin from the beans, little, dirt, stuff like that. So next step, we're gonna drop our onion, our 2 garlic cloves, put about 2 tablespoons of salt, and put it on the flame. We're gonna put it on high, bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, turn it down, and then we're gonna let it sit for about 4 hours, all right, guys? And I'll show you guys what this looks like in a little bit. All right, guys, so this has been going on for about 2 hours now. Come take a look at this stuff. So this is what halfway through the process looks like. Notice that the water does evaporate a little bit, so you are gonna have to add some water. Just enough to where it's not super low, but look at that good stuff. Yes, them beans. In case you guys didn't know, eating beans twice a week will reduce your chances of getting colon cancer by 50%. So, quick little tip for you guys. Plant-based diet, guys. I promise you, you can't go wrong with it. All right, guys, so we're back. These beans have been cooking for 4 hours, right? And look at how good that looks. Right? And over here, what I got going on is, this is how my grandma used to refry her beans. Well, not used to, she still does. So, a little quarter of an onion, that's it. We're gonna let that cook up a little bit. And after that, we're gonna dump some of these beans in there. But another thing that you can do, this broth is really good for you too. So you can always, scoop yourself some beans, scoop yourself some broth. If you're like me, this stuff is really good for you, and I really enjoy it just like this by itself. I like to add a little bit of jalapenos, raw onion, and I'm telling you, this, you can just eat this, and there's just so much nutrients in it. Eat it with a tortilla or whatever, really. And now we're gonna refry the beans. We're actually gonna give it another minute. Kind of want to welt that onion up a little bit just so that oil soaks up all that good stuff, all that good flavor. These beans. So what I'm doing now is, these refried beans are the beans that I grew up on. This is how my grandma would make her beans, and these beans are so good. Anyone in my family will vouch for you, or vouch for me. I remember going to a cousin's house, and my grandma would always make some beans. She always made beans, even when we traveled. we would take them to the cousin's house, you know, and we would have all our cousins just like, give me that, those are my beans. Legit fighting for the beans. I never fought for them because, you know, I used to have them all the time. And I still have them. I still enjoy eating these beans every day, honestly. I might give it like maybe a week. Sometimes I'll eat them for a straight week, then I'll give it a little break. Okay, nah. Let's just go ahead. That's what I'm pumped. So good. When these beans, you can also make bigger batches. Throw them in the freezer. Whenever you're ready to have beans, you just pop them out. Refry them. So as you can see, now I got my onion at a good little welt. You gotta do this quick because this stuff jumps at you. Go ahead, get your beans, throw them in there. Throw them in there. Oh, damn. Right? And this is how my grandma refries her beans. I can't stress it enough. This lady has years and years and years of practice. I'm sure she's tried different things and she's always just brought it back down to just a simple onion and garlic salt. And that's all you really need. But if you wanted to spice it up a little bit, you can add some jalapenos. You could maybe do some red chilies, like red dried chilies. Me personally, I've tried my own variations as well. And I just keep going back to the simple garlic, salt, and onion. Now, another thing that I learned while cooking these beans, you also got to add your water to it. Where's my water? You also got to add your water to it so it has enough time to, well, not enough time, but gives it that consistency that you really want it. So you add about half a cup of water. It really depends on how much beans you're doing. You kind of just eyeball it, you know, like so. And another thing I learned is that you don't want to mash, right? You just want to mash a little bit and let it cook. I learned that the hard way. I was always wondering, like, damn, how does my grandma get her beans so damn good? Like the texture of it, the flavor. I've always wondered it, and then just recently going down there and visiting her, I just, you know, I didn't ask her, I just like kind of just watched her, and I noticed that she smashes for like 2 seconds and she just leaves it like that. She just lets it cook. You gotta let it cook, let it cook. This stuff is ready. I'd like to refry my beans. I'm gonna eat that in just a moment. I like to refry my beans and I like to just get them off the pot really quick. That's what you can do. Just boom, put them to the side, let them cool down. And you just pop them in the fridge whenever you're ready to have some refried beans. You know, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Who's that?
DMX.
No, that's Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah.
Bring them out, bring them out. I don't really like Jay-Z like that, but, you know. So we're refrying our beans, just so you guys can see. This, you can do it with your little side of rice. Me personally, I just have bean burritos. So right now, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and enjoy this good stuff right here. It's a little hot, but so fucking good. Oh my god, that flavor. You guys, I really urge you guys to push yourselves to get into a plant-based diet, only because of the benefits that come with it. There are so many benefits that come with going into a plant-based diet. You can, you're helping the earth. You're making sure that you're not giving any money to these corporations that are doing all these cruel things to these animals that just don't have a voice to speak out, So as long as those animals are in those factory farms and all those slaughter farms, I'm going to continue to spread the message. You don't need animal products to thrive in this life. You don't need animal products to get the right nutrients, because in all reality, the animals, they're just the middleman. What are they eating? They're eating grass. They're eating all these grains and stuff like that for us, and we're getting the nutrients from them. But in all reality, it's all really just coming from Earth. So you want to watch this stuff. You don't want it to burn. Just let it cook. Let it cook. And another thing I noticed my grandma, what she does is she just scoops out like the onion and all that. At this time, she'll like scoop out the onion, right? And that's only because, you don't want to just take one big bite of onion while you're trying to eat some beans. So go ahead and scoop that stuff out and let it cook. Let it cook. Give it time. Let it cook. Clean as you go. You'll regret it in the end if you don't. This is coming along real nice. So yeah, guys, this is your refried beans. All you really got to do is make sure that it doesn't get too dried up. You can just let it cook, let it sit. You can always bring that out and do the same process whenever you get hungry again. Really hope you guys enjoy these beans. I really hope that you guys take the next step onto going vegetarian or vegan. It all depends on your own journey. But in all reality, I believe that every single one of us can do it. Not just for ourselves, but for the planet, for our children, for their children, and for the animals. Because we are not superior than anything else. We are not superior than another animal just because we're smarter than them. Just because we're smarter than them does not mean that they don't feel any pain. But look at this. Oh yeah. Look at this. And you could, if you prefer your beans a little drier, you can do that. Just let the steam come out. But me personally, these beans are done. Give them some time to sit. You can make it into a bean burrito. You can make it into a lot of things, So thank you guys for enjoying this episode of Eat Love Kitchen. You guys have yourself a great rest of your day.